So you finally got a seller of an accounting firm interested in wanting to sell. They raise their hand, they're ready to retire and move on to the next chapter, and they say, I want to sell to you. But what does this look like? You gotta prove yourself to me here. How does that conversation even go? What are the most important things that they're looking for to make sure that you pass the smell test? Let's get into it. I need us to take a step back, and I'm about to break your heart. You are a numbers person, I'm a numbers person, and we think that the way the deal should go is you give me the numbers, I go back to my office, I crunch them, probably more times than I really need to, and if the number spits out the way I need it to, then we should have a deal. The paperwork gets signed, you give it to me, we don't really have to talk to each other, and the deal's done. I'm sorry to tell you that that is not the way a real deal with a real life human being goes. There are a lot of what I call neurolinguistics, the language of the brain. How do you build trust and rapport with somebody? This goes deeper than the numbers. This is going to dictate if you get a deal or not. So let's keep that in mind as we move forward. I already hear you. You're going to be saying,
what about the numbers? What about the numbers? What?
Yes, all of that is for another video. This video is for the more important part of the process, building the trust. This is their baby. This is another child. They feel like they could probably file this business as a dependent because it's one of their kids. They need to know that they can trust you with their baby before they will ever sell to you. I don't care if you give a full price offer. If you don't get their trust, there's no deal. And as a thank you for commenting, liking, and subscribing, here's a picture of a really cute puppy working really hard on some tax returns. So the first thing they need to trust you with is that you can actually pay for it in some way, shape, or form. This isn't the most important, but they do want to know that you're not just some bum off the street that has $2 in your pocket. Now, check out this video so you can learn how to buy this entire firm with $0 out of your own pocket. But when you are talking to them, you need to project confidence and you need to let them know, yes, I can close this deal. But remember, this is the least important thing. The next four that I'm going to share with you are way more important than that. Because like I said, we can go figure out the financing. We can go figure out how to do it $0 out of pocket. I'm not saying you got to have $1 million in your pocket, but you need to project that confidence when you're talking to them that you can close a deal. Number two, can they trust you with the name that they've built? Their reputation is kind of on the line. When this acquisition happens, they're going to kind of give you their blessing, if you will, to the clients. And they want to know that they're giving their blessing to somebody trustworthy. Now, how do you do this? You have to really deep dive and build trust with them on a personal level. I always talk about there's a profit and there's a personal bubble. And those two are where you can tend to spend a lot of the conversation. You need to spend more time on the personal bubble versus the profit bubble, all the numbers and all of that stuff. This is where you build trust, not over here. The third thing is, will you serve their clients the way they did? Are you going to take care of their clients? And this is one of the most important ones that they want to hear. When you're talking to them, one thing that needs to be going through your mind is, I will take care of your clients. And you need to convey that to them multiple times throughout your conversation. That is my goal, to take care of your clients. Look, a lot of these clients, they have been with them for a long time. They've developed relationships with them. They probably see some of these clients for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. You have to show them that your number one priority is taking care of those clients. Number four is, what about my staff? Are you going to take care of my staff? See, this is another area. I do recommend you guys buying something that has staff and systems in place. It's really hard to buy what they call a one-man show, you know, because you're basically buying a job. And one principle we have in my community is we buy businesses, not jobs. And the only way to do that is if they have systems and staff. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent there. Since there's going to be staff involved, they are going to want to know, how are you going to deal with the staff and the systems and stuff like that? The best answer is to show them that you have the staff's best interest in mind, because a lot of these people have been with them for a long time. They probably have a good personal, deep relationship as well. So you have to convey that, hey, I want to take care of them. I even like to ask, are there any key employees that maybe I could figure out a way to give them a promotion, move them up to office manager, add more responsibility to them, to get them more invested? The owners love hearing that, because that's telling them, yes, this person really has the best interest of the staff in mind as well. And as far as like systems, billing, and stuff like that, the best thing you can say is, I don't want to change anything. That is the best approach. If you go in there and say, I want to change the way you bill, I want to change all the systems and softwares that you guys use, that's just a big turn off to them. Now, after you buy it, if, you know, a tax season or two goes by and you want to slowly start implementing changes, I think that's fair. But upfront, the path of least resistance is to just say, I don't want to change anything. By the way, if you want to learn a little bit more about what to look for in an accounting firm, what not to look for in an accounting firm, all of that stuff, I have a full case study of my last deal. It was a $775,000 acquisition of an accounting firm, and I got it for $0 out of my own pocket. There's a link in the description. Feel free to click it, check it out. It'll give you a lot of gems and a lot of nuggets. And the last one, this is also a very important one for them. A lot of these firm owners, they're going to be old school, and they're going to want you to be in office. Now, I know that there are a lot of virtual firms out there, and we all want virtual firms. A couple of things. Number one, the drop-off rate. If you buy a fully virtual firm, you don't really know the owner. There was probably a broker involved. You're paying them 100% of their money on the day you close. All of these things are just a recipe for disaster. The average client drop off in that scenario is going to be close to like 40%. And that is just a really big hurdle to try and get over. So that's number one. The second problem is that because there's no personal relationship built with the firm owner, when a client calls and say, hey, you retired? Do you think they're going to vouch for you and say, no, you should stay, that person's good? You probably never even met them. Now, that's in the instance that the firm was virtual and they went through a broker and all of that. Most of the firms that you're going to come across are going to have an office, brick and mortar. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually like those. And they're going to want to know that you can be in office. Now, do you have to be there every day? Probably not. But should you be there 2-3 days a week? Yes, absolutely. And you need to honestly be able to tell them that. I'm not telling you to go out there and lie to them and say you're going to be there and then you close and you're not. That's just not cool. I'm telling you to mentally commit to 2-3 days a week to being in that office. Now, look, if it's 20 minutes up the road from you, then you can go every day. But if it's an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours away from you, you have to mentally commit to be there a couple days a week, at least in the beginning. Once you smooth things out, maybe you can go to once a week. Then once you build even better systems and processes, maybe you can go to once every couple weeks, something like that. But the point is, upfront, what they want to hear in order to do business with you, in order to sell their practice to you, is that you will be in office. If you tell them, I plan on managing this thing remotely and I'm never going to be there, you're going to turn them off and they're probably not going to want to sell to you. Also, if you want to know 7 deal breakers that I would tell you run the other way if any of these things are on that accounting firm, comment 7 down below and I'll send you a really cool flow chart that you can download. It has yes, no format, and it'll basically take you from the beginning all the way to the end and all the pitfalls that you need to watch out for. And if any of those pitfalls come up, those are deal breakers. Run the other way. It's not going to be a good deal for you. A recipe for disaster. Comment 7 down below. I'll send that to you. So that's it. Those are 5 very important things that you need to know as you're walking into a conversation with a firm owner who wants to sell. You can't fumble. These are the things that they're going to be asking you and that they're going to view as very important to them. And remember, it's a cruel world, but we're better together. See you later.